Hello, hello. James here, just making a video. I just want to, for this month, the Black History Month. Uh, Even though it is really maintained sometimes in America, but basically, descendant of descendants of, you know, different parts of Africa. Um, you recognize all, but I want to recognize what that has been ignored for centuries, and it's the Black Mexicans. And I just want to send a shout out to those who are Black Mexican on this month too, because this is definitely need to be discussed. You don't hear too much about you know Black Mexican, what they call Afro Mexicano. So I just wanted to make a video and give a shout out to them. And that's something that I was watching videos on other YouTube channels of Afro Mexicanos, and then I was really surprised. It was You don't ever hear about that, from here in the States, and some people don't know that even though that there's various different people in Mexico, but you don't hear about Afro Mexican. There's even Afro Ecuadorians and Afro Cubans and Afro Argentinians and so on. I was really shocked. I was looking at the different people that descended out of Africa into Latin America, and there were so many. It was just amazing. And, yeah, but I just want to send a shout out to those who are, in fact, Cinco de Mayo, and someone told me this was founded by slaves that were in Mexico, and I was like, wow, so Cinco de Mayo, and Mexico had originally had the first Afro Mexicano president, during that time, not too far from the time when they let go of slave ships. And the story was that they, after slavery was all over the Western Hemisphere, Mexico was one of the countries that let go of the slaves, and the Spaniards tried to do the same thing like they do in the other ones. They try to conquer them, but they resisted, and it was really interesting story. So this is long credit due because no disrespect to the other different Latino groups or Mexican groups, but you don't always hear about them, and of course you got your native that they have the native look, and some of your Mexicans are native. They pretty much, but and it's like, and I was reading this article, and it was something how that the country looking at this, like they just now acknowledged them. Sorry about that. Something happened with that. Yeah, this article acknowledges the Afro Mexicanos. So, hey, I just want to make a quick video. Because this is, it's part of Black history, but it should be Black history all over. Not just in America, but because even you represent others carry the same characteristics, come from the same areas. But anyway, this they say what to know is that two out of 100 Mexicans, or around 205 million people, identified as black. It says black communities are mostly found in Veracruz, where the Spanish disembarked enslaved people in Africa and the coast of I can't say that name, but But yeah, this is now this is something that I believe to carry to this day. The Spaniard had a racist caste system that considered blackness the lowest social status, creating a stigma around identifying as black. A majority of Mexicans consider themselves as mestizos or mixed race, and many falsely claim that the disparities in access in education or jobs due to solely socioeconomically differences, not skin tone. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that there's a caste system in parts of Latin America, and I think it's not our Spanish speaking brothers and sisters. I do believe that, and the reason why I said that is because one time I used to go to church, and there were people from Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Cuba, let me see, Puerto Rico, different places like that, and Dominicans. There was some Dominicans there, and a few other people, and couples. Now and then you see someone. They had a woman from Argentina that was there, but basically, it was mostly bilingual, which is English and Spanish, and so, and there was times that some of the people that came were nice, that came from like Colombia. The people that we met from Mexico was really nice, but you got some other people. Well, they don't. You can tell the ones don't particularly care for certain individuals. You can tell they didn't care for blacks, and unfortunately, there were certain Dominicans and different ones in between that didn't really care. So there's a caste system. There is a caste system, and and sometimes we would interact with them on a Christian basis, but some people act with me, and I had a friend of mine that went to the same church, and we was led by the Lord to go there. But I remember one time, and the reason why we stopped going, one of the reasons why we stopped going, because one time the pastor made a statement, because and this is really kind of crazy, because he never had no children, right? So this one woman who was biracial, who she was part white and part black, and her husband was Mexican. I think it was Mexican or Guatemala. I'm not for sure. So, he made a statement that she's just gonna be for the Hispanic. Well, and he said this in front of the church. So that kind of offended her, because it's like it's not acknowledging both sides. So I know there's something to that. And I was like, wow, how you gonna do that after you adopted and took her as your own? And then one time, he made a reference about black women's hair and things like that. And it was just little stuff like that. And it's just, so I know that there's some social economic that some of that's true. And I'm like, wow, And recently, some people speak in Spanish because they know you don't understand it that well. But what they don't understand is that sometimes God gives you wisdom, God gives you insight what someone says, because in the end, God speaks all different languages. See, that's what most of the human race don't understand. Even if you do speak a language, if God sends people there, He's gonna give them insight of what you're supposed to do. You start out doing the right thing, and what led me there but there were no Afro Mexicans. They were Mexicans, but they were I think they were mestizos. But he made, every time he make a little innuendo, he was from Guatemala. I think he was originally from El Salvador. His parents from El Salvador. He was cool at first, but it's just that one time he made some crazy statement like that, and it really, wow. As an individual, that's why I stopped going to that church. But It don't mean that all people are like that. I do know that. But, yeah, there is definitely classism. There's a class system in all different, not just in Latin America, but even in parts of the Middle Eastern, there's a caste system. Black is always at whether you're Afro Mexican or Afro American, Afro Cuban, and probably Brazilian, you're always at the bottom. It's just it doesn't matter. And so that's the truth. It doesn't matter. There's a system some people are cool and some people, we don't know the whole story, and they know you don't know the whole story because you don't speak the language, you don't understand some certain custom. But there's certain people among a culture that act like that. Not everybody, but it was really shocking. But I just wanted to make a note about it. I just want to shout out because they don't ever get no shout outs to. So shout out to the people who are Afro Mexicans and being acknowledged finally after centuries and everything. Because in the westernized world, with a supremacist mindset that was set through all of the nations from the time of early part of the centuries, there's always been a totem pole effect. And the bottom people have never been acknowledged. And they still try to whiten it out and not acknowledge it. Because it's something about the Negro that in whatever part of the world he come from, they just find inferior. And so it's good that to acknowledge so shout out to all my Latin American brothers and out there where the world sees you as visible, we see you as visible. And that's shout out. And that's how some of us Afro Americans feel. Even though you might feel like you're by yourself, but shout out to you, because you're visible. You're not under no caste system when it comes to among us African Americans. That's how some of us feel. So I just wanted to make a video and dedicate this to them because we know how it is. And I think when you have dark skin and Negro Afro hair, it's just that they'll acknowledge you till later on. And I think that's in every certain parts of the world until someone stands out and they got to see. And then they hate, then some people they keep you down. And I've seen some of the videos in other countries where they try to put black people like they were wild and everything. So, and we know that that it wasn't like a laughing stock, but it's some things I saw even in other countries in their language. So I just want to say shout out to you for that. And keep your head up because you're a child of the Most High King. And you're not visible, you're not second class in anything. So if I had anything, shout out to the ones that mixed in with Afro Mexican. Shout out to you. And that's all I wanted to say with that. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time, y'all take care, be blessed. And on this Afro Black History Month in America, I want to make it around the world. And because that's what it's really about. Because they were part of us that went to the other Americas and to Canada too. So that's what's up. All right, then you guys have a good one. Take care. And be blessed out there. Keep your head up because one day we all will be the same. Not second, third class, or bottom class. No matter where you come from, no matter what color, texture of your skin is, or the texture of your hair. Because in the eyes of God, you're beautiful. That's all I got to say about that.